After winning the Constructor Championship consecutively for 8 years since the beginning of the F1 hybrid era in 2014, Mercedes, the iconic automobile maker, lost their glory to Red Bull in 2022. However, the world of motorsport is buzzing with excitement again as Mercedes has emerged from the shadows, ready to reclaim its throne. In a stunning turn of events, Mercedes is staging a remarkable comeback to challenge the reigning dominators, Red Bull. With their sights set on victory and a burning desire to regain their former glory, Mercedes is poised to shake up the world of Formula One like never before. Join us as we delve into the thrilling saga of the Mercedes comeback, exploring the strategies, innovations, and sheer determination that may just pave the way for an epic battle on the racetrack. Mercedes' unchallenged reign came to a halt in 2022 with the massive change in the F1 regulations. Their car was reduced to third fastest in the season, behind runaway championship leaders Red Bull and Ferrari, while their ace racer, Lewis Hamilton, experienced a nightmare of a season, failing to win even a single race for the first time in his illustrious career. However, the loss of Mercedes in the 2022 season can be attributed to their technical team's fumbling approach to F1's aerodynamic regulations that year. As part of the new regulations, the ground effect has returned to F1 after about a decade, and Mercedes wasn't able to adapt to the changes, which is why they found themselves bottom down. The regulations left them wanting, struggling with porpoising issues, a bouncing motion at high speed triggered by the car's underflow aerodynamics, an awful ride over bumps, which left the team over the pace in Monaco, and both drivers in physical pain after the following street race in Baku. Even before that 2022 season, Mercedes has experienced a significant loss in 2021 during the Abu Dhabi race. Although the company won the season Constructor Championship, Lewis Hamilton lost out on the Driver Championship in a controversial way. To this day, the loss in Abu Dhabi haunts Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, but he feels he's learned to live with it. The lowest point of the year 2022 came at the first sprint race weekend of the season in Imola, where Mercedes drivers ranked 11th and 13th in qualifying, finished 11th and 14th in the sprint race, and ended up 4th and 13th in the Grand Prix. The 4th mainly thanks to a good start and outstanding drive in mixed conditions by Russell. With Toto at the helm of affairs, Mercedes has won 8 consecutive championships. This robust portfolio gives many fans hope that it's only a matter of time before Mercedes bounces back. And surely it's because the team got to the bottom of the root causes of last year's limitations in mid-2022 and is making significant changes to address them. In the mid-2022 season, changes made to the W13 allowed Lewis Hamilton and George Russell to contend for podiums and even a race win for the latter in Brazil. The Spanish Grand Prix held a significant place in the world of Formula One, while Max Verstappen of Red Bull raced to victory at the Grand Prix. The most exhilarating pair at the Spanish Grand Prix was the Mercedes duo, Hamilton and Russell, who clinched the second and third positions respectively without much hassle. The race marked a notable moment for the team, which has suffered losses since the beginning of the season. However, this doesn't represent the end goal for Mercedes. It's far from it. But while the two races are still far behind in competing for the win compared to Red Bull Verstappen, what serves as hope that Mercedes is coming back is the fact that Russell finished P3 after starting P12. With their terrible performance in 2021 and the beginning of 2022, Mercedes discovered the need to change their direction. The early rounds of the year created a big gap between Red Bull and Mercedes, making the latter, once hailed as the uncontested ruler of the racetrack, become a competitor with Aston Martin and Ferrari over points. As a result of this turn of events, Wolff was forced to acknowledge the need for a new design direction. According to him, "I think we just needed the shock at the start of the season to see that this design isn't moving forward." So recognizing the need to push boundaries and challenge convention, they have embarked on a relentless pursuit of technological advancements, and their victory at the Spanish Grand Prix showcased a good turnaround for Mercedes. Both Hamilton and Russell were pleased with the outcome of the race, regaining their confidence after a terrible year and a half. With that lowly qualifying performance by his standards, Russell did not believe a podium was on the cards heading into Sunday, so he was happy to drive around around Barcelona in a car that did what he asked it to do. No, to be honest, but I definitely have confidence we could move forward, he admitted when asked if podium was on his to-do list when he woke up on Sunday morning. The race pace was really strong this weekend with these new updates. I was very disappointed last night with the qualifying result, but I think it's proof that you just need to keep on believing, and today was a new day, new opportunities. I went out there, ticked all the boxes, the car was fast, there were good overtakes, and it was a really enjoyable race. Russell further explained that the inclusion of side pods in the new design isn't what makes the difference. Speaking to Sky Sports, Russell said, "It's not the side pods that make the difference. It may be a factor, but the magic isn't in the side pods. The magic was done underneath the car, on the floor. That's the same for every single team. I'm sure Red Bull could put no side pods on their car and still be the quickest. I'm sure Red Bull could put those side pods on their car and they'd still be the quickest." So yeah, it's a little bit more complex than that, but nevertheless, I'm really happy with the work all the team has done and the validation that the steps we've taken are steps in the right direction. Russell doesn't stop there. The racer made it clear that they have a lot of work to do to catch up with Verstappen. "We're not solely satisfied with P2 and P3, said Russell. "We've got our sights set right at the very top." Hamilton also chipped in to acknowledge the massive gap between his team and Red Bull. "With the current car that we have, I don't think we'll be matching their performance," Hamilton said. "They're so far ahead, and ultimately, Max will continue to win this year." But the 7-time world champion believes that with their exceptional performance in Spain, Mercedes is moving in the right direction with the improvements they're making to their car. Meanwhile, Mercedes has the support of a 6-time F1 race winner, Ralf Schumacher. Ralf, whose brother Michael drove for Mercedes between 2010 and 2012, feels the team is on the up with or without the changes. The former Williams driver stated that Mercedes are coming back anyway. "I think they found a way through, so hopefully it'll be a bit of a fight between the three of them. Otherwise, it's starting to become boring. I think there's a good chance of a Mercedes revival. I see Max winning the race. Their pace is strong in the race, but Lewis could be in front of the Ferraris, I'm quite sure." The former racer's quite right with the progress Mercedes making so far with their W14. One of the significant changes made to W14 is the adoption of the former black livery color the team previously used in 2020 and 2021 after spending 2022 in their traditional silver color. As for the return to black livery, which is predominantly exposed carbon fiber to shed as many grams as possible, Wolff stated, "We were overweight last year. This year, we've tried to figure out where we can squeeze out every single gram. So now history repeats itself. You'll see that the car has some raw carbon bits, along with some that are painted matte black." As Mercedes revs up its engines and storms back into the limelight, the Formula One landscape prepares for a major shift. With their unyielding determination, innovation prowess, and burning desire to reclaim their position as the kings of the racetrack, Mercedes is on a huge mission. If you enjoyed this video, check out the one after it to get a glimpse of the beautiful partners of your favorite F1 racers.